In a horrific crash at a Fabens racetrack, a car can be seen losing control, slamming into a crowd of spectators. Keep your eye right here. This is the vehicle we're talking about. We now know that a 21-year-old is dead. Police have identified the victim as Willie Valadez Ramirez. This all happened at a mud racetrack on the 17,600 block of Island Guadalupe Road in Fabens. ABC 7's Dylan McKim has been in Fabens all day gathering the latest information. And Dylan, you recently spoke to a first responder who was trying to save Ramirez's life last night in those moments right after the crash happened.
Yeah, Eric, we did speak with a first responder, but I first want to point out, just before we came live, about a line of 20 cars came pulling up to this area. You can see it's the friends and family of Willie Ramirez. They're coming to pay their respects. They're gathering around a memorial that was set up by the first responder that I spoke to, Scott Smith. He was the head of security for last night. He set up this memorial right where Ramirez was standing when this accident happened. Now, I spoke with Smith to ask him about his efforts last night when he tried to save Ramirez's life. It happened in an instant. That car you see in the circle hitting a spot in the track before veering into the crowd.
Yesterday was a tragic accident here.
Scott Smith was the head of security for the event Sunday night. As soon as he saw the accident, he sprang into action, rushing to help those that were injured. One of them, 21-year-old Willie Valadez Ramirez.
Mr. Willie, he was my number one casualty. He was my number one priority for the first ambulance.
Smith treated Ramirez for 15 minutes before an ambulance took him away.
He just asked us to do everything we can to save his life.
Ramirez died later that night. Smith was standing with Ramirez's family when he heard the news.
The world's worst fear. You know, what we didn't want to happen happened. And, I mean, it's emotional.
The car tore through the pole that separated the crowd from the race cars. I spoke with Royal Jones, owner of Vado Speedway Park, about the safety precautions of this sport.
Concrete barriers are a necessity. Nothing stops something from coming at you.
The Speedway has concrete barriers and a catch fence to try and keep debris on the track. Smith tells me that they had put cars along the barrier to cushion the blows of crashes. On Monday, Smith planted this post in the ground and said a prayer with his wife. He said that marked where Ramirez had been treated, and it will continue to be there for future races.
Things continue here. There will be a marking, and we will always race in that spot right there. That will be for Willie forever.
Now, guys, you can take a look here. This group here trying to pay respects to their loved one, 21-year-old Willie Ramirez. Now, this was the first race at this track here in Fabens. I spoke with Smith. He told me that the owners and them are talking about running races in the future. They're trying to figure out ways to make it safer for those future events. Reporting live in Fabens, Dylan McKim, ABC 7.